Here we go. Here we go. baby.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 57. As you can see, Rod Daddy himself is not with me, but a fan favorite has returned once again. The prodigal son. Seth, how are you doing? I don't know if... Oh, she sounds good, doesn't she? She sounds good. I don't know if you're aware of this. I believe we've avoided telling you this. However, your episode, the first time you were on, which was almost a year to this date.
Yes, it was.
Is still our most listened to audio episode.
Probably by me multiple times.
And hey, we're here for it. You got to hone your craft in case you come back and got to do it again, you know?
Yep.
As the people can see, I do have the old mic stand set up. I know we had some fishiness with the microphone last time we were on, so I wanted to eliminate that for you guys. But we got a jam-packed episode today, man. We're going to talk some Disney conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about a startup company. You know, we're on the verge of Jurassic Park. They want to bring mammoths back. They think they can do it. We're convinced that we can do it. We're going to discuss polar bears and how they are either tearing each other apart or just inbreeding. And it might be because there's a little less ice out there than there used to be before. But we're going to talk a little bit about Chernobyl and how the plants, they're making a comeback. They're making a comeback, baby. It's a little bit greener. The oxygen's a little fresh over there now. Alanis Morissette, she had a deal with HBO to do a little biopic kind of deal, and now she's pissed. And this seems like it is a continuing trend. We had Scarlett Johansson had issues, multiple Disney female actresses or artists, I believe, have had issues. HBO now getting in on that game, I suppose. So SpaceX, they're flying civilians here coming soon. And when I say civilians, it's not like the average Joe off the street. They're like millionaires and billionaires still. So you got to have a little something in the pockets to get on one of these ships, but it is what it is. And then we're also going to talk about a couple different things. First of all, the nostalgia of Steve from Blue's Clues. He made a comeback, and it was a tearjerker. And then we're going to finish off with what this new telescope might do, the new and improved Hubble telescope, which is we can basically see into the past. So let's kick this thing off. Seth, we haven't had you on in a while.
You got merch now.
We got merch.
We weren't even there when I was on last.
We got merch. We got. If you look in our upper right hand corner, I always forget how this thing is like mirrored. We have. We sort of have sponsorship, I guess you could call it that. A little bit of a partnership. Guys we played rugby with. They own a CBD company, so we always like to give them a shout out. So
helping each other.
If you catch us mid-show, you're going to get the ad read. You're going to get the little discount code, so make sure you tune in for that. Get a little something for less.
Sounds good.
But you moved into this house. I actually had you. So we were talking before the show, and you're in this nice big, still working on it, empty room. And I was like, dude, you got to go somewhere else. The echo, as you can hear the dogs.
As the dog echoes, but
you got to get somewhere else, man. This is little like a church. There's like a steeple in there, man. I thought you were gonna give us a sermon on the show today. That's right. That hardwood.
My son's room, and we're here.
We sound good now. We happened to bump into each other. Man, what was that? Like a month ago over at Uptown Friday night. What a good time we had. Had a few beers. I owe you one. Had a little beer on your dime. So
hey, you bring me on here, so we're good. You got me there last time, though. So
that's fair. When you were on the show, we supplied the beer for you. Didn't have to really worry about that too much. Took care of you. But that's what we do. You know, we get a guest on. We're not going to make them now. Obviously, with the whole remote deal, the way we've got it set up now, it's a little bit different. We're not rich enough to be shipping beer out to people, but But when we get to that, that's a bridge we'll cross. Maybe we'll start our own beer company just so we can ship out whatever and get that out there for you. Papa Steel brews his own beer, so maybe that's what we start doing. Maybe that's what we do.
Really hobs it up.
Oh yeah. Gotta get it. We're not IPA people, so if you're looking for an IPA to show up at your door, you can fuck off right now. That's not gonna happen. So let's dive into it. We got a lot to talk about.
Let's go.
The state of the world is going to be a little bit what we talk about, but first we're going to touch on a little something here. Rod and I always like to discuss conspiracies and Easter eggs and everything like that. So TikTok is a wild and lawless land, but I happen to come across some gems from time to time. So what we got here is a little conspiracy theory that Andy's dad he's gone, but he Woody. And this whole time, growing up as a kid, he goes through all these hardships and everything, goes off to college, he's going to make a hard decision. I got to ditch the toys. He no longer needs his dad. And I got to tell you, man, we're going to start this show with nostalgia. We're going to end this show with nostalgia. I buy it.
So you're saying
really
Woody's his dad? Just
his dad's like spirit or soul, yeah.
Hey. Sounds about right. I've watched Toy Story so much since having a kid. Woo.
Yeah. But I mean, the only thing that I don't really understand is why he can't converse with Andy. That seems like something he should be able to do, but I don't know.
How do we know that?
Good point. I mean, all Woody does throughout the entire movie is make sure that Andy's okay and Andy's happy. So that kind of seems like we missed the mark on that one. And this might be the truth this whole time.
Another little Easter egg. Ever since that Halloween store went up, someone wanted to go get costumes. Guess what we're being this year?
Let's hear it.
Buzz and Woody.
My man.
Yours truly is Woody.
That's the move right there. That is the move.
Let the kid pick it out, and I just match. So
I was in college. Actually, we set up a little Mr. Universe thing to try to raise money, and so my old college roommate and I were hosts of this Mr. Universe event. Sure enough, Buzz and Woody. There was like a little Disney kind of deal theme, and that's just the dynamic duo, the OG dynamic duo right there, at least from our generation standpoint, and you got to respect it. I don't know what that makes the rest of the toys, though. Hopefully they're not just random spirits that get stuck in Andy's household, but
that's a lot of spirits.
I know, and it's very uncomfortable if that's the case because, they all are looking out for Andy, which is cool, but kind of curious as to who Rex or Ham and all those would be.
I'd rather have a Woody and Buzz than an Annabelle. So hey, pick and choose your battles.
Good point. You don't want to. Yeah, I'll take the Woody over Chucky. That seems to be the logic. Now Halloween's coming up. I'm not a scary movie guy. I know. Every time I sit down and have conversations around this time of year, somehow you get to it. What's your favorite scary movie? This and that. Do you have one? Are you a scary movie guy?
Me? Yeah. Right off the spot. Shoot. I'm a zombie guy, so not so much movie, but Walking Dead. Watched every single episode still, so.
I can respect that. That's a good. And is it still good?
If I have to pick one. And that's what I was last year with it, and so.
I saw that. That was you got some clutch costumes, man. I'm looking forward to see this growth and how elaborate these things get going forward.
I'll be matching him till he doesn't want to dress up anymore. So.
Oh man, that's the day where you're just like,
yep. I'll still dress up. I don't care.
My boy's growing up.
Right.
But yeah, two good polls. I don't know for me, see. If I had to choose a scary movie, I don't know. It's more of a thriller than anything else. Have you ever seen Us? Did you see the movie Us?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, and it's there's two different versions of people. Basically, there's this
of the same person, but
yeah, Yeah, exactly. And
like their devil side of them.
Basically, and that side gets out. Actually, I don't want to spoil the movie, but yeah, I mean, watch it. Good little twist there at the end.
But can't go wrong with Ghostbusters. A little bit of horror, a little bit of funny, and they're coming out with a new one, so
absolutely.
To see that.
What was your take on the Ghostbusters remake where they had the female leads and everything? Did you like it?
I mean,
I didn't get around to watching it. I didn't hear great things about it, but
take it for what it's worth. I mean,
I think you're right. I think if you go in with an open mind and realize it's not going to be exactly the same, and that's the thing is,
I like that they're going back with younger kids now. So
yeah, and that's what gets me too is like people gripe that they're doing all these remakes, blah blah blah, whatever, and they hate it. But then when they try to like recreate the movie, then people are even more up in arms and they're like, no, it should be exactly like the original was. And so I don't understand where the balance is between those two, but Papa Steele, thank you for chiming in. Not the greatest, the reboot of Ghostbusters, but let's see how they do going forward. I'm interested. I like the reboots. I just got done watching the Matrix trilogy.
Okay.
Because the fourth one's going to be coming out at the end of the year. I'm excited. Keanu Reeves, is he a great actor? No, but I'm on the bandwagon. I think his movies are good.
It's been like 20 plus years, hasn't it? It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been quite. I guess it's some fly or something. It has been quite some time since the Matrix, the latest Matrix movie has come out. But I mean, you look at him now. He's got the John Wicks, this and that, and I love the John Wick movies. I can't get enough of them. So I'm on the bandwagon. Knock Knock was a horrible movie. That was a terrible movie. Did not enjoy that at all.
Never seen it, so can't
don't. Let me just kind of break it down for you. It starts off reading like a bad porno, and then it turns into like this really cringy, like it's just not a good movie. I don't know. I'm just surprised Keanu Reeves accepted that role.
Money talks.
But, I guess. But you hear in the news all the time, he's such this minimalist guy. Like he takes the bus or he rides a motorcycle and all this shit. Like,
but he might be giving it to a good cause. So
maybe. Hey, maybe. Yeah, I know it's hard. I mean, you got to take the person from the art, and sometimes it's just you can't really peel those two away. But I mean, people have done it with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is still one of the greatest singers of all time, but bit of a scumbag as a human being. But I fully invest in the Disney conspiracies, and I think there's some truth to a lot of them. I really do.
I do like how Pixar puts like a little toy or something for the next movie that comes out. That's actually true, and I love looking for them and finding.
And you look at Monsters Inc. and you see there's like a Finding Nemo toy and a Buzz Lightyear toy in Boo's room when you finally see Boo's room. Things like that. I agree. Those little Easter eggs. I'm like, man, this is gonna stick with me for a lifetime. I know it.
That's well planned. So
I know. I mean, yeah, look at what Disney did with the entire Marvel industry. Right. So well planned is what they do. Are you caught up on any? Do you watch the Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus or anything?
I do not. I haven't gotten into the TV shows, so I try to keep up with the movies. But there's so many that come out every which way, man.
There really are. It's tough. It's tough. There's no good balance to watch them all. I happen to fly a lot for work, so I download it. There you go. That's what kills my fly time is I watch the movie, and it just works out that way. So yeah, the last What If. If you decide to get into them, the What If series has been incredible. It's an animated series.
Okay.
And it's basically like, okay, so first episode they do a play on Captain America, Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, and in this timeline, it's different. It's what if like Peggy Carter became Captain America instead of. So there's a lot of like little timeline things they toy around with, which is really fun because they're not going to like come into fruition at all, and make a series like a full series out of each one of these. But you're like, shit, what if that happened? Like, what if? And then you get to do that with every movie and TV show you've ever watched, and it never ends because now you get to ponder the question, what if, for everything at this point.
That's
and
awesome.
Marvel's just kind of opening up a little gateway. I don't know if everybody wants to go down, but we'll see. It's been enjoyable. I
What's
suggest
that
it. That's a Disney Plus.
Okay. Yep, I have that. So give
it a go. Give it a go between Monsters at Work or Doug's Days or whatever.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, the new series.
Yep, I enjoyed a couple of first episodes. So
I'll definitely get to it at some point. It wasn't on my list of things. I mean, the Mighty Ducks movies were good. I didn't think they were like fantastic to where. Right. But I did go back and watch Cobra Kai on Netflix,
yes.
Which was that actually turned out to be really good, really good. I wasn't expecting much of it, but it turned out to be pretty fantastic. So you just never know. Like you got to start taking shots. That's what I try to do. It's iffy. I guess I'll watch it. I'll see. Give it 2-3 episodes, and if it doesn't grab my attention, it's out. I'm done with it.
I feel it.
All right, let's get into our first actual article today.
Yes.
Biotech startup has raised millions to resurrect woolly mammoths. I assumed this was going to take more money to resurrect woolly mammoths, but here we are.
I've heard this since like high school, though. Like, are we making progress a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Like I see. To clone these things, but I've been hearing it for years. Like, and now I need to start seeing something.
I see. This is the thing that gets me is what are we like? We're spending money on this. Is there a reason we need to be doing this? Going back,
has anybody seen Jurassic Park? Like, what happens when you clone these things? Like, just saying.
We've been preaching this thing for like the past 4 episodes, man. This is not something we would like to unravel. Mm-hmm. This is a thread we shouldn't pull on.
Keep things as it is.
But if there was one dinosaur or like long time ago animal, I think woolly mammoths would be the ones that we should probably. Think of the fur coats this thing's going to make. I tell you what. The fashion industry is going to skyrocket here soon. But here's the problem with me is like. So you have all these poachers who are shooting down elephants to get the ivory out of their tusks. Like, so now we're just going to create game for them? Is that what we're doing?
About right.
Let's just go ahead and make this thing real. But I'm interested because
I would like to see it. But, and again, if it goes bad, like, I don't have any push that button.
Blow that bitch up. Let's go ahead and put a chip in that thing right from the get-go. And if this thing goes south, we'll just send it sky high. Maybe we'll just put it on one of these new rockets that we'll talk about later.
Or bringing stuff to Earth. Like, that scares me.
How many movies have you seen where we go explore something, we collect rocks, we do whatever, we come back and not knowing there is a new species on Earth.
Right.
And this thing just ravages the human race. And we got to worry about shit like that. If they ain't coming in on UFOs, which we know they are, government's come out and said, hey, UFOs, they're real. If they ain't coming in on UFOs, they're doing some little like
it's not even here and you're talking about aliens.
We get here one way or another, man, okay? He's here in spirit, can't you tell? He's here in spirit. Yeah, poor bastard's writing a paper. He just started his business program. Good on him, I guess. We'll see what happens with that. In
this article, they were going to use the woolly mammoth to repopulate or fix something with the glaciers and stuff. So I read a little bit on it.
I mean, maybe. maybe this is an opportunity. Okay, so they're talking about emissions, industrial revolution, and everything like that. It's a possibility. I mean, maybe this is some altruistic, hey, we're gonna make the world a better place kind of thing, or maybe this is just really smart people that just want to see some fucking mammoths live. I mean,
Why not?
I'm not ruling that out. I think for whatever reason, human beings like to play God. I mean, we saw it with implanting the Neuralink into monkeys, and they were able to play video games and be pretty good at them, from my understanding. What is the obsession with saying, hey, let's make this smarter, let's make this alive, let's bring this back? All things that we either don't need for any reason, or it died off for a reason. I mean, I'm a firm believer in evolution. Like, this thing disappeared for some unknown or undisclosed reason. Let's leave it where it was. Let's leave it where it was. Because if you put something like this in today's day and age, one, we're going to talk about how polar bears are already fighting for ice space. Now you're going to put some woolly mammoths on it too. Where are these things going to live? Where are these things going to live? Where are we putting these things? Russia? It's got to be It's got to be Russia, I guess. That's the only thing I could really think of.
All that untouched land they have.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty. Just tundra, just frozen tundra left and right. Fuck it. There you go.
Right.
There you go. We'll see you in the summertime when we run up there, domesticate you, and shave you, and send you back into the wild, and then you'll just be elephants. then you'll just be elephants. But I'm telling you, man, fashion industry is going to love this. They're going to love this. I just watched Cruella not too long ago, like a week or two ago, on Disney Plus. I had zero expectations for that movie as well. It was really good. It was
It'd be like The
movie.
Revenant, or is that what it's called?
With Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. Yep.
And that's like the start of the movie. Like, they try to take this tribe's fur, and all hell breaks loose. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like somehow we're going to regress in doing this. I don't know about the rest of the world. I don't know about poachers. They probably don't have a code, but if you're hunting a mammoth, you're only allowed clubs and spears as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's what you get. You got to hunt in the time that this thing was around. Clubs and spears, good luck. Bet you that thing thrashes your ass around. You ain't getting no ivory off these things. But so they're talking, they'll have calves in 4 to 6 years. 4 to 6 years. What do we do about this?
But then they said they're going to make a species similar to the mammoth, but not.
But not, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's like a glorified elephant, so.
It's just a hairy elephant. Just a hairy elephant. That's all it is.
I'm not threatened by it because it ain't coming to where I live, so.
Man, well, it'll be in a zoo near you someday, I'm sure. In the next 15 years, there will be mammoth zoos, along with the velociraptor cages and the T-Rex yard and all that shit. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I do know is there ain't going to be a whole lot of space for these things. So polar bears turn to inbreeding and cannibalism to survive effects of climate change, study shows. I had a really good conversation about this with a family friend, a great friend of mine, when we were traveling together. And his take was, why don't people believe in climate change? Is there a reason people don't believe in climate change? Like, clearly you could take it. I mean, for me, what I think it is we are very much what's in front of us. I've never been to the Arctic. I don't know what the fuck the Arctic is actually like. But if I sit here in my nice little Ohio shell, my Ohio dome, I can just say, it ain't fucking happening. Whatever. It's a bunch of propaganda bullshit. Well, here we are. Polar bears are inbreeding, so much so that the genetic diversity of polar bears has decreased by 10%.
That's crazy to think about.
And they're supposed to be one of the most aggressive species of bear as well. So I can understand the cannibalism, but can you just imagine, like, you're in a situation where it's dumb for us to consider because it's like, oh, if the effects were this bad, we would just move. Like, we would just move somewhere else and not have a big deal. But generations of knowing where fish or seals are and all this kind of thing, out the door. See you later. Doesn't exist anymore.
I think we had something to do with the climate change, but then again, there's no record going back saying this hasn't happened forever. So, I mean, I think we sped up the process a little bit by what we do, but like as human beings. But,
sure. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, were the ice caps already beginning to melt, like, after the ice age? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much unaccounted for.
But then again, we did this, like, we set off nukes on this world. Like, this world was not meant for nukes. Like,
we dropped 2 suns, not just one, but 2 suns on a country.
And what we'll get to later, Chernobyl, like, the world didn't say, hey, do this. So
that's a good point.
Hey, I'm here.
See, so you've seen that's right. You've seen the Avengers Age of Ultron, right? With the one with Ultron in it. He's trying to get rid of human beings, basically. And we've touched on this a couple times before. Ultron spent 5 minutes on the internet and realized human beings are the problem. I mean, you see it more and more and more now. Now, we won't get too in-depth. However, football season is here, baby. Football season is prime time. We got a game tonight.
Yes,
we got a game tonight.
And the Giants.
In New York. So. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Not necessarily a prime time game anybody wants to see, but I'll tell you what, if Daniel Jones breaks another one off for 80 yards and then trips over his own feet like he did last year, I'm here for it. That's fine. But
Meineke's quarterback in Washington, I heard. So
yeah,
Meineke, he's a dog. That playoff game.
Fitzpatrick is out with a hip injury, so time to shine. Time to shine. Everybody gets a shot, you know. Everybody gets a shot. But it's just like human beings now are lawless. You see how many fights have taken place in stands recently. You see, I mean, just video after video of somebody getting clobbered in the mouth for no reason.
But, and again, this has been happening for years, just never televised. So, I mean, now it's brought to the main stage.
And here's what it is. Here's what it really boils down to. In social media,
everybody has one of these.
You can take that little pocket computer out of your, slide that thing out. It's got a video camera on it. You can take a video and you can say, here you go, world. Here's a couple dickheads fighting each other. And people eat that up, though. Like,
yep.
Somebody will post that just so they can get a lot of notoriety for posting it, and it wasn't even them involved in the whole thing in the first place. But that's where we are. That's where we are. I think we all just need to sit down in a big little kumbaya circle and have just like a shot of whiskey together. You know, right. That's what I'm saying.
All the road problems by that.
That's what I'm saying. By the way,
push the red button.
By the way. The Proper 12, Conor McGregor's little whiskey deal he's got going on here. Good shit. Good shit. That's a proper Irish whiskey. Let's get into it. We touched on it. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Chernobyl making the comeback. Here we go. So, plant life is starting to come back here in Chernobyl.
So fascinating to me, honestly, years later. I mean, I wasn't alive when this happened, clearly. But, I mean, I love researching and learning up on this. HBO had a great mini-series of it.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I've yet to watch. That's another one. It started very, very slow, so I just didn't invest in it. And I need to. I know I need to.
You do.
I know I need to. Everybody said great things about that little. I mean, it's what, a 6-episode series, like
It's quick.
hour-long episodes. Piece of cake. If I could sit through season 8 of Game of Thrones, I could sit through anything, man. I'll tell you what. But what this article doesn't tell you is that these plants probably glow in the dark, or they grow like a weird limb sticking off of them. Like, there's probably still some radioactivity involved in the production of these plants. But let's see. Let's just talk about it. Hey, more oxygen there now. That's going to clear up some of that radioactivity.
I know they put a dome over where it actually exploded, so it's kind of helping a little bit.
Ooh.
I mean, clearly can't solve all the problems there, but I know they do that.
And it's just, I think they do tours there now too, don't they? I swear they do tours.
Oh yeah. I mean, I bet. I mean, they won't take you like to the spot, but I mean, you see people sneak in and videotape stuff. Like, why not make some money off it?
Exactly. A little bit of this, a little bit of this.
You know your risk. I mean, I wouldn't want to go there, but
it was one security guard, and people, like a group of people, walked up and they're like, "Hey, can we? I don't know, maybe just get in." And that guy's like,
"Slide money under the table.
$50, sure, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do in there. It's not my life that I'm gonna." Yeah. Like, come out with like a second ear like growing on their neck and shit. He's like, "Whatever, I made $400 that day." On top of what he was already making as a security guard. So good on that guy, if that's the case. Well, entrepreneur right there. He started a business that probably took off, because I want to see some weird shit, though. I want to see, like, is there a pond that has some, like, scummy radioactive fish floating around in it? Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I bet. Mercury poisoning, you ain't got to worry about that, man. You got to worry about this fucking
and the animals
uranium
running around there.
Yeah. Wolves with 4 eyes. Huh? What do you think about that? Bears. There's got to be bears there, right? Bears that like run like human beings but still run as fast as they do.
I mean, we're talking about a town. Like, there's stuff.
Yeah, you've seen some shit. And I don't like. That's interesting. This is the study we need to do. Okay, if we're going to spend money on bullshit like this is the study we need to look at. Will that, like, over time develop some sort of new evolution, like this radioactivity in these animals that are breeding for generations?
That's
is that
how Hills
create...
of Ice stuff. Like, that's inbred. No.
That's. I mean, are we looking at generations of down the line? Are we going to see like a fox that glows in the dark or some shit like that? I mean, who knows? That'd be pretty sweet. I would be okay. I mean, I don't think the fox would really enjoy that, because I think their whole thing is kind of the sly, conniving type deal. But I mean, maybe we see some really weird genetic mutation going forward, and
I feel like they have already there, though. Like, we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't a thing.
Put that in the same zoo as the woolly mammoths when those things grow.
Oh, I don't want any of that shit near me. I'm good.
You know what? Which one? Woolly mammoths or genetically enhanced? Yeah. There's going to be a lot of like lead walls and shit in that zoo, but you can
just radioactive, just blaring down at them. Just hey.
Yeah. They'll give you goggles and a schmuck or some shit, but it'll be all right. Maybe some rubber gloves, I guess. Oh man, I don't know. I'm fascinated by it, but I don't want anything to do.
I'm not that big a risk taker. I mean, hey,
you want to talk about risk taker? Let's
inside of buildings and stuff, man. No.
Well, yeah. See, that shit doesn't bother me, okay? What bothers me is that we are restoring tombs that you can just walk through. I mean, has anybody seen Night at the Museum? Like,
yeah, is that like cursed already? Like, have they not seen
I'm sure.
Everybody that walks down there, you're cursed. You're cursed.
You're cursed. We're going to see it. When did they open this? Because, I mean, we had that huge cicada thing this year? Like, is this one of the seven sins type deals? Like, is there some awakening that's going to take place, some apocalypse that we're about to uncover right here? We don't know what these fucking symbols mean. This could mean death to anybody who opens this door.
$8.6 million. Like, whoo. Or 8.3, there it is. But still, that's okay. Just throw away money. Here you go.
Again, I'm sure you're in the same boat as Rod and I are, and our manager Rick Locke. I know he's very much invested in the same thought process. We don't have a cure for cancer yet, but we spent $8.3 million.
Hey, do we have a cure for cancer? Sorry, conspiracy. Hey.
I know. One day I'm gonna say that there's just gonna be like a laser target right on my forehead, and they're gonna be like, "This son of a bitch, he's preaching to the masses." But
I'll get it next. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Listen. I didn't say that's true. I'm just speculating. You know.
I know.
I just have some questions about where our funding is going and where it could be going. But kudos to them if they want to spend $8.3 million in American dollars, whatever that translates to in Egyptian money. Go for it, I guess. I mean, if you ain't got anything better to do than to curse your lands, that's what you got to do. I mean,
look at some of what the billionaires are spending on. So, like,
but I say that with a grain of salt because a lot of this nation was built on Native American lands, so I don't know that we're necessarily the culture or society to say, "Hey, this is wrong."
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know if John Smith and I are related. I had nothing to do with that way back in the day. Those were his decisions. I think we could have sat down, had a shot of whiskey, and called her good, and split some land. But it is what it is. Doesn't matter. We're all fucked anyways because whatever curse is coming out of this thing is going to go airborne. It's going to be worldwide, and we're going to see a mummy situation taking place here within. Let's see. Here's what's going to happen. Okay. Ooh. Airborne virus that only affects. Listen, COVID. No. Yeah. When the fuck did they open this thing? Let's look back at that one. Airborne virus that only affects mammoths and radioactive animals, and it causes them to go mad, and they stampede all of us, and we're fucked.
I don't even think we need a curse for that. So,
yeah, I think we'll create that ourselves. You're probably right. If I had to guess, we will create that ourselves. Even if we don't, even if initially it's just like, okay, we got this. Okay, here's these mammoths. Let's try to experiment on one of them, and then we hit like the wrong nerve in their brain, and they're somehow all like assimilated, and they all are like one hive mind. Because that's shit we do.
Down.
Yeah, exactly. And we strike a nerve in their brain that causes them to be like overly aggressive. And now they're all overly aggressive because they think alike. And they just bye-bye.
Don't play with fire, man.
Don't play with fire. What happens when we play with fire? You get fucking burned. Burned. Unbelievable. I'm interested to see what's going to happen to humans or society as a whole going forward. Because I gotta be honest, I don't think it's going to be good. I
hope so, though. I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, it's just right. Like, oh man, like we are on a path to destruction. But it's fine.
I think technology needs to slow down a little bit. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. But hey.
I think so too. We're going to talk about that later because now we have a telescope that can basically see into the past because of how far away it can see. But on a side note, on a little bit lighter note, so Alanis Morissette, she was supposed to have this HBO documentary, Jagged, but according to her, this is not the story I wanted to tell. And you've seen it a lot. So Scarlett Johansson, she had issues with her contract when Black Widow came out. And there were multiple others I know had issues. We won't talk about Amber Heard. That's an entirely different issue because she was out there clubbing fucking Johnny Depp in the head or cutting his fingers off and shit like that. So she kind of caused her own demise. However, this seems to be the trend. And I don't know if, and so far, all the reports I've seen have been female artists or actresses. So I don't know if this is like a sexist thing. I hope not. I really don't.
Not either.
Or is this just like the new streaming service deal and what they're trying to exploit? Because there was supposed to be a deal, whether it was so much from the movie theater revenue and so much from the streaming revenue. It turns out, I believe they kind of cut her ties. This is in regards to Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of cut her revenue in terms of, I think, movie sales or like theater sales, and only gave her revenue from the streaming services or vice versa, whatever the case may be. She's like, you guys owe me some fucking money because we didn't do bad in theaters or we didn't do bad on the streaming services. So why don't we fork that over? That's what the contract says. We'll see in court, assholes. I hope this doesn't blow up the whole Marvel thing. I don't want to see Scarlett Johansson
get... You see this in TV shows all the time, though, where a character just dies off, well, because they didn't want to get paid or they didn't want to pay them. So, I mean,
there was no agreement. Yeah.
So, I mean, both for guys and girls. So,
yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's scheduling conflicts. Yeah, sometimes it's scheduling conflicts. That's one thing, sure. But when it becomes a financial deal and there's issues there, yeah, and really, this is the first like big one that has been brought to the limelight, in my opinion, at least. Now, you're right. You've seen this before. The contracts just don't add up. I mean, it's like guys in free agency.
Yep. You don't see it till after.
They're offering me this, and you're gonna give me these peanuts. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna take my talents down to South Beach like LeBron James.
Then they go super agent. So.
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where, I mean, I'm not in the business world. I don't know much about the business world, but you gotta wonder: is this going to ruin the entertainment industry? Because this is like the third or fourth one within a couple months now. Like,
but everybody's trying to be rock stars now. So, I mean,
yeah, I don't know that anybody needed Alanis Morissette fucking documentary. I certainly wasn't searching for it, but that seems to be one that's kind of on the rise, on the up and up. Is those like musical docs, like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, all of these that are coming out.
Which were good movies, so, I mean, I enjoyed them. So.
Yeah, certainly. Because there's notable songs. Now, I mean, I could be way off base. I don't know any Alanis Morissette songs off the top of my head. And if I do...
Walk the Line and stuff, like Johnny Cash, June Carter.
Right.
It's like a history... like a biography in a movie, so
yeah, I'm sure there's going to be an Elvis. There's going to be an Elvis one soon, I'm sure.
But as long as it stays true to that, like, I'm game. But if you start going off topic with that, like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's right. Maybe she's like, well, that's not how this fucking happened. What are you talking about? So, I don't know, but I mean. When it's an after-the-fact thing, they're going to take liberties no matter what. No matter what. I mean, you see it even in the comic books. If you look at it in the comic, the actual physical comic book, the series plays out this way. Now, they do the movie adaptation, and it's pretty different. I mean, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
What's his name wasn't even a character in the comic books.
Daryl?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where they latch on to what they think is popular and they run with it. And unfortunately, that's the industry.
Yeah.
we want to tell your story, but we want to tell it in an entertaining way. So whether we kind of fudge this fact or whatever, that is what it is. Strap in because we're gonna keep doing it, and that's on you.
What sells.
Yep, exactly. And if all else fails, make it a like Will Ferrell movie or somebody popular at the make it a Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie, and that shit's gonna sell no matter how dog shit the movie is.
That's true.
As long as he gets to plug in his Terramana tequila in that movie, I don't think he gives a damn anymore. Have you tried that?
No.
I haven't either. I'm not a big tequila guy, so.
I'm a beer drinker, so.
I hear you. I had to switch it up a little bit, trying to, wedding coming up, got to shed a few pounds to fit into the suit yeah, I know. She is still staying strong. She's got like less than 2 months now to be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. But I love her to death. I'm grateful for her, and she puts up with my dumb shit every day. So strong woman she is, and you're damn right. You are damn right about that, my friend. All right, let's get into it. Next article here. SpaceX is just sending civilians now, fully civilian manned ship.
This is like an every month article right here.
Right. Elon Musk is just firing people into space at this point. First, it was a Tesla vehicle, and now he's just like, all right, let's you, and you. Let's go on. Let's go.
Yep.
We're gonna fucking launch you. So they learned, or they basically trained for this by climbing a mountain. Was one. I don't know if that's an oxygen regulation thing.
No, it was team build.
Team build? Fuck off.
I'm good. You're not going to want me on this flight after this. So.
But they make it seem like it's just this Joe Schmo ragtag group they put together. No. It's a billionaire, a physician assistant, an engineer, and a scientist. So you got to have credentials.
A survivor too. So but still brought something to the table.
Now here's another thing. We're going to shoot these 4 people into space. If you're an astronaut, maybe you take one good look at some sort of space contaminated thing, and you think, don't bring that on board. That could have some organism that's going to take over our human race. But for civilians, you think they taught them that? No, they taught them how to climb a fucking mountain and talk to each other and be in fighter jets so that they could, experience G-force and shit like that. That's what it really boils down to. Not enough in my mind.
It was a 6-month course. I mean, I read
6 months.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean,
how do you feel as an astronaut? You've spent years, your entire life. You understand engineering. You understand mechanics. You understand physics. You understand this, that, and the other. And they're just like, all right, take these 4 rich schmucks and just fucking launch them into space. They'll figure it out. They could do it on their own. And everything that you've worked for your entire life, they just basically go, meh. Meh. Do we really need all that? Fuck yeah, we fucking need all that. What if something goes wrong? Sign this waiver. Bye-bye, fuckers.
I'm good. My 2 feet on the ground. You fly all the time, dude. I've flown 4 flights in my life, and I'm good with that. I'll drive. If I can't drive there, I shouldn't be going there. So.
You're spoken like a true Ohioan, my man.
Hey.
That is a Midwestern mentality, but I mean, yeah, I don't.
I've been out to Utah, flying. And guess what? I drove all the way to Utah. So.
So you're like Hondo, another good friend of the show. He's a driver, man. He's a driver. He takes his dog everywhere he goes with him too. So.
Yes, I see his parents all the time. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great people. But he's a driver too. Everywhere he goes, drives. Mm-hmm. Drive. I don't need to fly. Fuck that. Me, on the other hand. Oh, so you're telling me I can get there in 1/10 the time? Yeah, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you guys there.
You just got to get those points, Just mark it
I
on.
do. I do. I get them points, man, and I just turn around and I take vacations and shit, and it doesn't cost me a dime. So gotta love that. Gotta love that. But I mean, it's a necessity. It's for work. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for work, would I do it as much? Probably not, because one, I wouldn't be able to afford it. But yeah, probably. I mean, probably not. I'd probably be a driver too. You just get like you stop and see like a bunch of little shit along the way.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, nice little road trip. Get the tunes going. Finding. By the way, road trip playlist might be the hardest thing to find.
Yeah. Or you're just roaming radio stations and they're playing the
Oh,
same songs.
and that's tough.
all the
That's
way
tough.
down.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll listen to a podcast I've heard 100 times before I turn on a song I've heard 100 times. If I like the song, it depends on if I like the song, obviously. But I don't know. In any case, this is where we like to do our little plug. If I'm taking that long road trip, back's probably gonna hurt, gonna have some inflammation, shit like that. What can I do about that? You can go check out cbdbrothersusa.com, and they've got a whole line of products. If you want something for inflammation, maybe to calm you down a little bit, they've got tinctures. You can check those out. Those are incredible. Last I bought, they had a lemon and a mint flavored tincture. Always good little drop at night, maybe a little drop first thing in the morning as well. And that can help you sleep a little bit, especially if you get the tincture that's got the melatonin in it. I love me some melatonin. A little night juice, a couple drops of that in there. And I'm sleeping good. I'm sleeping deep. I feel rested in the morning. That recovery process is a lot easier when you get those 8 hours, or I get about 6. I usually get about 6 hours of sleep, but I mean, you grab what you can get sometimes. If you've got unruly animals like I typically do now, these fellas in the back here had a long, playful day, so they're pretty exhausted this go round. But they got little CBD treats for the dogs, little chewies or little tinctures you can drop into the food, drop into the water, what have you, and it's going to help them calm down. Maybe I got some unruly fuckers here usually, and not the case when they get that little CBD tincture, that little CBD beef flavored gummy. Oh, gourmet shit for those boys. They suck those things down and they're free and easy laying on the couch watching a movie with me and the future missus, and we just have a good old time. So if you go to cbdbrothersusa.com today, you can use code IDIOTSONMIC. You see it scrolling across the bottom there for 25% off and free shipping. These guys are the real deal. We played rugby with them, so they know a thing or two about inflammation and getting banged up. So if you got any questions, go on the website, contact them, talk to them. I guarantee. Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, right up there in Hilliard. Local. So if you're someone that is local to us and you don't need it shipped, guess what? Put that order in. You can go pick it up. They operate right out of a podiatry office right there. It's like a old Worthington, Hilliard kind of area. Go right down to that office and pick it up. If you want to save yourself some trouble, or hell, maybe you're there for a podiatry visit in the first place. Get you some CBD products. Again, cbdbrothersusa.com, code IDIOTSONMIC, not idiots on a mic, idiots on mic, IDIOTSONMIC for 25% off and free shipping. Get the free shipping, man. There's a lot of CBD companies out there right now, but guess what? They ain't doing 25% off for free shipping. I can guarantee your ass that. And that shit can be a little pricey. So they're doing you a solid. They're giving you that great deal. Go take advantage of it while it lasts. Anyways, where were we at? Yeah, we're launching people into space. I think it's just one big. Next? I think you know what? This is just like an orbital thing. Here's what Elon Musk did. He said, "Oh, Jeff Bezos went into space. Fucking cool. Guess what? I'm gonna send 4 people that aren't even trained to do this into space. Your move, Jeff Bezos. See you later."
My beard.
Yeah, exactly. He's up there just fucking ripping on a fucking blunt, going, "That's nothing. That's nothing." I got 4 willing participants to sign a waiver and say, if they get lost in space, it ain't my problem. And here you go. We're going to slingshot these bitches right into orbit. We'll send them right back to Earth, and we'll see how this thing goes. I'm interested. I'm going to watch that one. Whenever they televise that launch, I will be watching that one.
Has he been up yet? Or is
I don't think so.
I think he's just sending other people like, hey, he can do it. Or she can do it.
Yeah, he's like, I sent my car. Like, that counts.
Right.
Send that. I don't need to go. I get it. I know what space is like. Elon's an alien anyways.
Let's go.
Yeah, Elon's been to space. He's an alien, man. He's been galaxies away for all we know. He's like, I know what it's like up there. That's fine. Let's send people who have never been there before. Space around Earth is boring. You've never been to my galaxy where there's fucking flying monsters all around that you got to fight just to get out there. But I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. Technology is making some advancements. We started to talk about this. So I need to find the exact point in here. So
about seeing in the past?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's possible, but I mean, if they got a mirror up there that can shoot back, I'm game.
Here we go. The JSWT will be able to see far enough to see what the universe looked like around 250 million years ago, after the Big Bang. So, 250 million years after the Big Bang. So, about 13.6 billion years ago.
I don't believe. I mean, I don't.
Well, so that's the thing is, so when a like nova star or whatever explodes, we don't see that until like years later because it takes the light that long to travel to where we are. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what this is saying. Like, they have infrared technology now that they can use. So they're observing a particular wave of light that spans millions, maybe even billions of years ago. And it's just like, that is the most preposterous shit I've ever heard. That doesn't make sense to me. It really,
they might be putting up this telescope and just being like making this up in a boardroom somewhere. Like, hey, look at this.
They have some marketing team. Like, it's not even a group of astronauts and engineers and all this, or physicists, whatever. It's just a marketing team. Like, where are we going to take this thing? What's going to be the next big product to come out of this?
Made in the USA.
Dust? Yeah. Space. How can we spin this like space dust thing to make some sort of product out of it? Oh, we can actually go back in time and collect this, and here it is, and it's just like sand in a fucking container.
I want to see another person on the moon. Like, let's go back that far.
Why aren't we? Do you think there's something up there that we were like, whoa? Maybe we don't go back for a while. Maybe we take a look and see what it's like in 100 years, and then we decide.
I mean, that's another conspiracy thing. I mean, if we want to go down that rabbit hole.
Rabbit holes is what we specialize in there, Seth. So
yeah. I'm just saying, we went there way back when, like, with the technology, we should be just, hey, I want to sign up to go to the moon and land on it. So
you would think maybe that's what Elon's doing. He's like, oh, you guys think you're just going around Earth one time? No, my friend. No.
Let's go around the moon.
I think my Tesla landed on the moon. I'm going to actually have you guys go pick that up for me, bring it back, and then I'll sell that for $3 billion because it's been through space and back. And I don't know. Maybe we look into this thing and we see Elon's Tesla just light years away, fucking after he launched it. That'd be pretty slick too.
To see a car floating.
Yeah. Maybe we look back so far that like we see civilization. Like, here's the theories we have, and maybe there's like some other Earth that we're gonna uncover that existed millions or billions of years ago, and there were entire species, civilizations.
Just don't bring the stuff back here. That's it. Like, that's all I want. Like,
that's all we're trying to say, you know.
Yep,
that's
just
all
keep it there. You can make these
That's
telescopes. You don't do anything with them. Like, hey, just look. Look, don't touch.
Yeah, you see that over there? Don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
There's
All
warning
right, cool.
signs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Let's wrap this up. I got one last article for you. I do actually have some movie and TV trivia. I don't send those to the guests usually because I like a little bit of maybe surprise, maybe a little bit of surprise. But before we do that, we have something to talk about. Okay.
Ooh, I've been waiting for this one.
Steve from Blue's Clues came back.
Oh, where's the sound?
He basically, I know, I haven't figured it out
right.
how to be able to do the sound just yet, but he basically goes on to say like, "Hey, I just fucking left you guys. Like
yeah,
20 odd years ago, I just said to hell with this, I'm leaving." And he kind of goes into explain it a little bit, but so part of the reason was he was starting to lose his hair. I don't know if that was like maybe a battle with cancer or something.
Why did Toy Story leave for 20 plus years? Like, come on.
Also a good question. The other reason was he like pursued a music career. I believe he was in a band, but he basically goes on, and this is what this entire video is about, is he goes on to apologize. Like, hey, I just fucking left you guys. Like, we're all grown up now. Like, you guys got student loans and shit like that. And he's like, I get that. And like this whole thing, like I didn't know I needed this closure until I watched this video.
It was amazing. It was well written.
Yeah. Just a nice little 2-minute video basically saying, hey, I left you guys. I know, like, I was a huge part of homes all across the nation, maybe even worldwide.
Yeah.
For children, kids growing up and everything. And I just bailed. I just kind of fucking bailed on you guys. And he doesn't necessarily come out and apologize, but he's like, hey, now you guys kind of get it. You're all grown up. Shit happens. Like, you guys all kind of understand.
So I'm going to throw this in there. So I have my 3-year-old son, Aiden. And when I saw Blue's Clues come back on, it was like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I was just like, we're on it. You're watching it. And he loves it. But like he said, like they changed mail time to actual mail to like email. What? It's just, it's crazy seeing the difference between like what we saw growing up. Because, I mean, that came out when we were little to what I'm seeing now with a new host. Same old Blue, but it's kind of awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Can't bail on old Blue, you know what I mean?
You got to pick and choose the shows kids watch. It's like, Dad's got to watch this, so we're going to watch something like that.
Yeah, right. You're watching like Superhero Squad and Paw Patrol and shit like that. I got you. Right on. I can respect that. I'm going to be the same way. Hey, I'm going to introduce those kids to comic books early, and that's what we're going to be watching. Because guess what? Pops is watching that shit too.
The ones that I didn't want him to watch, he doesn't even know exist. So, hey, that's a win.
Oh, yeah. But, I hadn't thought about this for years. For at least 20 years, Blue's Clues. Didn't even think twice about it. Mm-hmm. This came out, and I'm like, as a 28-year-old man, I might go sit down. I might go sit down and see if I can find the old Blue's Clues somewhere and watch some of that shit. Like, I'm gonna know. Yeah. Oh yeah. I couldn't tell you any one specific episode by any means, but I know that was a staple of my childhood, and I'm grateful for the message I didn't even realize I needed, man.
I do appreciate all the remakes like Rugrats.
Sure.
Solid.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They need to bring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I mean, they kind of have. I don't know. I haven't got into them, but
I mean, SpongeBob's going to be in a state of despair because that guy passed away. That guy that created SpongeBob died.
Yeah, but the guy they have sounding him sounds pretty similar. So
really,
Yeah.
See, I can't tell you what the newest episode of SpongeBob I've watched was.
Oh, me either. So I watch like movies now.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Ooh, the
Yeah,
Nickelodeon football game last year though was on point.
wasn't it the graphics they had
Yes.
for it and shit?
If they did that all season long, I'm in. Like I'm watching that.
Maybe I thought they got they got a game this year too, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like one game.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll probably be all what it is, but
hey, your Browns lost in Browns fashion. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
It
okay.
seemed like it was their game to lose, but
it's okay. Probably top 1-2 team there. I mean, that probably is going to be your AFC championship. So
hard to argue. It's gonna suck that they're gonna lose it again, probably. But
and we get
anyways,
Odell back. I'm not a huge Odell fan, but
I'm not either.
he's a good ball player.
Hard to argue with that as well. Yeah. I still watch SpongeBob. Yeah, very funny. I do actually. If I get a chance to, it happens to be on TV. But
Are you a
Let's wrap-
Bears fan?
I am a Bears fan.
Okay. Justin Fields needs to get in there. That's all I'm going to say. Until then, have fun with Andy Dalton. You're good.
I'm torn. I'm torn, and here's why. I want Justin Fields to start because I think he gives us a better chance to win.
Win now.
Right.
We don't want him hurt.
And that's why I say I'm torn because our defense, those contracts are coming up. That defense is going to explode here soon. It's going to be like watching the Legion of Boom disperse like it did before. That is coming into fruition. Like I know that's right around the corner, just right over the horizon. So if there's a chance for us to win, it's now. However, there's 3 quarterbacks, I forget the third one off the top of my head, that didn't start any games or only started one game their rookie season. Okay? Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers being 2 of those 3. So I don't think sitting behind. Now, is Andy Dalton the best veteran? No, not by any means.
He's a likable guy, though. So
he's a likable guy. He's a consistent quarterback, and that doesn't necessarily mean that everything that Justin Fields is learning by sitting on the sidelines. Yes, absolutely. So everything that Justin Fields learns by sitting on the sidelines doesn't have to come directly from Andy Dalton. It could be his own process of learning and understanding how the NFL is played versus how college football is played. So right. I think there's a lot to be said about sitting out for your first year, but it's just he's mobile. Our offensive line sucks.
Okay.
So he can buy time to make plays.
If you have a good offensive line, put him in. If you don't, then don't risk it.
Yeah. He's able to extend plays, to make plays, whereas Andy Dalton just can't do that. And that's
all right,
where
we'll go back to what you were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up with movie and TV trivia. So let's
movie and TV trivia.
We got a nice little video for that. So we're going to kick this segment off, movie and TV trivia. Ballers. Did you ever watch Ballers?
Yes, I did.
Okay, here we go.
Seasons, maybe.
Roger Goodell actually tried to prevent NFL players from going on Ballers because he was concerned that there might be some slight slander for the brand. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there were a lot of guys. You know
who that Miami person reminds me of? Jarvis Landry, to the team.
Yes. Yeah. I thought the same thing. They almost look very similar even.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. Ricky Jarrett.
Yep.
Ricky Jarrett.
Great show.
He goes on to play for it did. They kind of pulled it more so away from football and more about the business side of it.
I didn't like that.
But at the same time, seasons 4 and 5, I don't know if you got that far.
No, I got to the monster truck scene and I was like, I'm good.
Okay, so seasons 4 and 5 I thought were really good because they actually kind of tied it into relative conversations. They talked about getting NCAA players paid. He kind of almost colludes with a football player who's going to decide where he's going to go play football and then try to get paid and things like that. And then in the 5th season, he actually becomes an NFL owner. He actually becomes, which obviously doesn't really happen, but part owner of the Chiefs or sole owner of the Chiefs. And he's trying to get lifetime health care for NFL players. So it was,
which is relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought those, like, it was cool because he was burning a lot of bridges to make it happen, but he was so adamant about his message and what he was trying to convey and making that happen so that, you know, they're like, oh, you're not about the players, you're only about yourself and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, if I get where I need to be.
What if that was a marketing tool to get what? Never know.
I don't know. Hey, I think it worked because that was part of the new CBA, if I'm not mistaken.
Do we have more questions? Because I'll let people answer before I butt in.
No. We're gonna go right into our next thing. You got something to butt in about though?
No, I'm good. I was just gonna let them answer the question, not just right off the bat.
So in Jumanji, the original Dwayne Johnson Jumanji.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So the first one. Tom Holland was originally cast as Seaplane McDonough, but had to drop out because there was scheduling conflicts with Spider-Man Homecoming, and then that's why Nick Jonas got cast. I think, yeah, these are all true, by the way. I mean, I think it's an entirely different dynamic. I would have loved to see Tom Holland. I'm a huge Tom Holland fan now that he's done the Spider-Man movies.
I think Jonas did good though.
He did. I mean,
the British accent. I don't know what to get, man. I mean,
is that the only movie he's done though? Like, has he really been in anything?
But if he did, like, that's the best cameo you could have done, like, personally.
But here's the thing: is I think they could have done more with the seaplane character if it was Tom Holland.
Yes. But did you really need that with Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson? Like,
true. Would have been quite the star-studded cast
Jack
at
Black,
that point.
like,
yeah.
You already have your stars. Like, hey, I just want you in here for a quick.
Would have been a full cast, absolutely. But yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right about that.
Because how many Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart movies do we have now? Like 4 or 5.
Three. I know Central Intelligence, 2 Jumanjis.
That might be the only 2, or 3, but still.
I'm sure there is another one. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I mean, yeah. I kind of hope that dies down. I love their dynamic.
I think they have another one coming out, honestly. Like,
probably.
Not trying to.
But I get tired of seeing the same over and over. Like, I mean, it was the same thing with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. They did a lot of movies together.
Step Brothers and Talladega
Holmes
Nights.
and Watson, Talladega Nights. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're fun. Yeah, you get it. Like, these are the 2 buddies, but at the same time, it's like, all right, let's lay it to rest. Yeah. We're seeing this dynamic just in a different setting is basically what they end up doing is they just plug it in a different spot and they call it good. I don't know. But speaking of, I didn't realize when I was doing this, my third and final movie trivia, didn't realize I was going with the Dwayne Johnson theme here. Gridiron Gang, phenomenal movie. Gridiron Gang was great. Based on a true story, by the way.
Yep.
Story
of
juvenile detention
at the end. So
yeah. They do. Man, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. Yikes. The team was followed by a film crew, and the footage became a TV documentary in 1993. After it aired on TV, the creators were swamped with big studio offers to make it into a feature film, but it took 12 years for them to finally make it into Gridiron Gang movie, what it is or what it was in the time. And I'm grateful for that. I'm glad they did that. I want to see if I can find this TV documentary because the raw footage has got to be incredible. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah.
The raw, like everyday practice footages and things like that, I bet are fucking amazing.
And you know me, I'm all about football. Like I watch a lot of documentary stuff. Invincible, the
Oh, yeah.
Eagles. Yep, great
Yep,
one.
yep, yep.
Do you remember Two-A-Days on MTV? Maybe. Well, it was
No, I
back
never
like
watched that.
it was like back 08, 07, like
Mhm.
that time. But there's a new Netflix Title Town. Same coach, different school, same crooked stuff he does. Like
Really?
this dude was so crooked for high school football. Like I don't even know how he got another job. He won't get another job now. But
I love the Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is fun to watch,
I still watch it.
especially when there's guys that are like on the cusp of getting caught or not. It's interesting to see like the entire dynamic and how that whole process works. You know, and it's unfortunate. Like, I mean, granted,
Some of the players are good too.
yeah. I mean, some of them go on to have careers elsewhere by who was it? It was what season was it? I think it was the Raiders season.
Mhm.
They ended up cutting one of their tight ends. He went on to have a career in Seattle. I mean, it's
Right.
just one of those things like, hey, don't give up, because guess what? You guys are working your tails off for days on end. I want to see them all succeed. Sometimes
And that's
it
why I
doesn't
like
happen.
the preseason, honestly, because like the third preseason game, it might look like trash, but them guys no, they're playing for a job. Like you don't think
Mhm.
they take it serious? Like think
Oh
differently.
yeah, and we've touched on this a couple times before. We had a good friend, kid I went to school with at Tiffin. He went on to play arena football or the indoor football league, and he was like, every day you're fighting for your job. Like you perform or you move on. Like the turnover rate, especially in those leagues as well, like it's so high that they pump guys in and out of that system. He was an offensive lineman, and he was talking about to maintain. They wanted him at a certain weight, and it was above what he normally is. So he's like slamming pizzas every day and shit like that. Like it's just wild what they put their bodies through for that. Like it's a job. It's a job. But at the same time, if you're good at it and you're great at it and you enjoy it,
compensated.
you get a lot of fucking money. You will make a lot of fucking money doing it too. So I don't know. It's a wild world that we live in, and the fact that like football players I understand more than like baseball players. Baseball players make a shit ton of money. I mean, you got to talk. Mike Trout, like last year or 2 years ago, signed a 12-year, $400-something million deal.
Baseball's
Patrick Mahomes, yeah, and then Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he had his 10-year, $500 million deal as well, and it's something crazy. So those are things. We lost Seth, but that's okay. We're gonna wrap it up there, anyways. Thank you, everybody who listened, who chimed in. I know we've been kind of spotty the past couple of weeks. We've had a lot of travel. Myself, I've had a lot of travel coming up. Rod's starting school again. We lost you there for a second, Seth. I was just wrapping the people here. But again, I just want to reiterate, we want to thank everybody who chimes in, who listens to us on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of touch and go the past couple of weeks. I've been traveling. I've had some pop-up travel that we don't anticipate that, kind of unfortunately puts us in a spot where we can't do the show that week. Rod, obviously he wasn't here. He's starting up his business schooling and everything like that. So
thanks for letting me come on.
Seth, grateful you were able to come on. I know
the other day you were like, "Hey, show Thursday." I'm like, "I'm game."
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you're on deck, bud. So get your shit ready.
I was like, "You have the
Come
right
on.
Seth, right?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't mess up."
Hey, I know my sets. We got Seth T. We got Seth H. One of them is awesome, and that's you. And then the other one's kind of a dickhead most times, but we get him on the show. Glad you can make it. This is long overdue. We'll make sure that this becomes a more regular thing. We have
a lot of time, so
we have a rotation of guys we try to get on pretty frequently, and we'll make sure to put you in that rotation.
Thank you.
One thing we're gonna do is, as we wrap this up, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? We always like to give our guests the opportunity to shout somebody out. So the floor is yours, my friend.
I mean, shout out to my son if he ever watches this, down the line. He'd be like, "What did Dad do to kill time?" I'm like, "Hey, this is it." But yeah, shout out to friends out there that are watching. I know Hondo's came on, Blankenship, Beanie, the guys I run around with around here. So.
And bumped into Beanie as well while we were out there at Friday Night Uptown. We're gonna have to make that happen. Is he? So I saw this on Facebook. Are you able to confirm this? Is
Yes.
he going to be a part of the first play that is going to take place at the new theater?
Yes, on Halloween night. So get your
Okay.
tickets now up at
Okay.
the Avalon Theater. So the show.
Let's make this happen.
different. But
Let's make this happen. Yeah, Rocky.
I'll
Rocky
be there.
Horror Picture Show.
I'll be there at midnight showing. I know they have like an earlier showing, but I'm going to the midnight, the more raunchy one. But
You and I are going to work on getting him on. We're going to promote the hell out of that.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. The Marysville Avalon Theater has taken a
old
beating
movie
over the
theater.
past few years. Has collapsed a time or two.
right.
So they're getting that built up. Let's make this community, let's expand this community in this small town, Central Ohio. We're going to make that happen. Beanie, if you happen to catch this, let's make that work, man.
One thing real quick. That Marysville Theater up there, I swear I saw a ghost up there a time or two, So, and that's going upstairs in it. Best friend's parents owned it, I had to sneak in there, and I swear I saw something that was not human form. So hey.
Okay. So the last words of our podcast are going to be you describing your experience. Let's go. The floor is yours.
Long hallway where the third projector was. I swear I saw a figure that was not a human. So there we go.
Okay.
I ran back downstairs and that was it. I'm out. I'm
so
good.
It was this ghostly, ghastly figure?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
If not, hey, it beat me. It might have been a sheet over something. I don't know. I'm gone.
Yeah. Hey, when you're sneaking into shit like that, I don't mess.
I don't go look. I'm out. So,
I said,
just like this episode, I'm out. You guys.
We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.